Good morning, students. Students, now we are going to start our second chapter. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. See the title of the chapter. The title itself suggests that definitely this story is all about courage, adventure, sport, faith, and optimism. It is rightly said that optimism helps to endure the direst stress. If you are optimistic, then definitely you can come out from any of the challenge, any of the situation. Means the title teaches us that we should not lose hope, and especially when we are together. It also indicates the strength of a family, that when all the family members are together and when they help each other, when they support each other, then definitely everybody gets success. We are not afraid to life can all be together. As the title, as I told you, suggests that it is an adventurous ordeal, or you can say it is an adventurous experience, and especially at the sea. In the chapter, it described the narrator's great courage, especially when he faced the challenges, adversities. In this chapter, there are main four characters, I would say, though there are two more characters. One is the narrator, second, his wife Mary, his son Jonathan, who is 6 years old, and his daughter Suzanne, she is 7 years old. All of them, they had a close encounter with death during their voyage. Actually, the narrator decided to repeat a sea voyage as it was done by Captain James Cook almost nearly 200 years ago. So he decided that he is going to duplicate it. The narrator, he is a 37-year-old businessman. Okay. During this voyage, he took his wife and his children with him. He made a boat, and the name of the boat, it was Waywalker. And when they started in the beginning, there was no problem, but after that, they faced the drastic situation, gigantic waves, I would say. Even the gigantic waves damaged their boat. The family was badly bruised. Still they kept their courage, for they found their strength in their togetherness. So dear student, now we are going to start this chapter. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, by Golden Cook and Alan East. So first of all, note down the meaning of these expressions. Owning our seafaring skills. Owning means sharpening, seafaring, the skills which are required during the voyage. Ominous silence. Ominous means very evil, cruel, which suggests that something bad is going to happen. Before the storm comes, you will find that there is a pin drop silence. The clouds are there, and suddenly it bursts. So that silence, which is before the storm, that is known as ominous silence. Mayday calls used an international radio signals. Pinpricks in vast ocean. Pinpricks means which are very small in size. A tousled head, untidy hair. Tousled head means untidy hair. So let's start this chapter, students. In July 1976, my wife, Mary, son Jonathan, he's 6-year-old, daughter Suzanne, 7, and I set sail from Plymouth, England. They started their voyage from where? They started their voyage from Plymouth, England, to duplicate the round world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. He is going to repeat it. See, why did the people take such sort of risk in their life? Because they are adventurous by nature. For the longest time, Mary and I, who is I? Narrator, he is 37-year-old businessman, had dreamed of sailing in the wake of the famous explorer, adventurer, I would say. And for the past 16 years, we had spent all our leisure here means the time which is spent what you enjoy or when you enjoy. Owning our seafaring skills in British water means the time which they could enjoy. Okay, during that time, they sharpened their seafaring skills, the skills which are required when they are going to duplicate this voyage, when they are going to repeat that voyage as it was repeated by whom? By Captain James Cook. How many years ago? 200 years ago. Our boat, Waywalker. What is the name of the boat? Waywalker. 23 meter. What is the length of the boat? 23 meter. 30 ton. What is the weight? 30 ton. Wooden hulled. It was made of wood, especially the bottom part. Wooden hulled beauty had been professionally built. So the Waywalker, it was made very much professionally. It was built very professionally. And we had spent months fitting it out and testing it in the roughest weather we could find. Though they practiced, and especially when it was rough weather. The first leg of our plan, 3-year, 1,05,000 kilometer journey passed pleasantly. So when they started, 3 years, 1,05,000 kilometer, till that time, till that area, no problem. And they crossed how much? 1,05,000 kilometer. 1,05,000 kilometers. So, as we sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town, there before heading east, when they covered how much? 1,05,000 kilometer, they covered Africa to Cape Town, this area also. There before heading east, we took on 2 crewmen, American Larry Wiesel and Swiss Herb Sizzler. Larry and Sizzler, to help us tackle one of the world's roughest seas, the Southern Indian Ocean. Now they are going to face the world's roughest sea, which is the Southern Indian Ocean. So when they are going to face that sea, they took 2 crewmen. Crewmen means helpers, I would say, especially people, those who are working on a ship or on a plane. So they took 2 helpers from there. On our second day out of Cape Town, we began to encounter strong gales. Gales means strong winds. On our second day out of Cape Town, when they left Cape Town, on second day they faced strong winds. For the next few weeks, They blew continuously. Gales did not worry me. The winds were blowing. Narrator is saying gales did not worry me, but the size of the waves was alarming, up to 15 meters, as high as our main mast. So dear student, to understand what is mast, you have to see the picture at the back side of the chapter. Okay, there the things are given. He is saying that the gales did not worry me, but the size of the wave was alarming, up to 15 meters. With the wind, waves were also rising up to the height of 15 meter. The mast, it is set almost at the height of 15 meter on the ship, or on the boat you can say, and it was as high as our main mast. December 25 found us 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town. Despite atrocious weather, atrocious, which is extremely wicked. Despite atrocious weather, we had a wonderful holiday, complete with a Christmas tree. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather. Though they enjoyed their Christmas, but as the New Year also started, there was no improvement, no change in the weather. But we reasoned that it had to change soon, and it did change for the worse. They were thinking that weather must change. Sorry. And it changed, but it became more worst. At dawn on January 2nd, the waves were gigantic, which are very huge. We were sailing with only a small storm jib and were still making 8 knots. Knots, it's a unit to measure the speed of the boat. And they were having only a small storm jib by which you can control the speed of the boat. As the ship rose to the top of each wave, we could see endless, enormous seas rolling towards us. And when they are moving on the waves in a zigzag manner, when they were on the top of the wave, they could see that the enormous means huge, sea rolling towards us, because the waves, they were coming toward the ship, toward the boat. So they were noticing that the huge sea is also rolling towards us. And the screaming of the wind and spray was painful to the ears, because the gales were so high, strong. To slow the boat down, we dropped the storm jib and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Loop, just like a curve, just like a circle. Stern, at the back, or you can say the end of the boat. So what they did, they just tied each and everything. They attached with the rope. Then we double lashed everything, went through our life raft drill. Life raft drill means a flat structure of wood tied together with the boat. Attached lifelines. Don means to put on oilskins and life jackets, and waited. They wore their life jackets and now they are waiting. What is going to happen? Because the situation was almost worst. So dear student, you will read up to here. You will note down the word meanings. Okay. You will listen to the video again and again. Further, we shall discuss in next video. Remember, you are to make notes on it. Means you are to just find out the value points. You will make 5 short questions on these 2 or 3 paragraphs. You will write down the vocab and value points as well. Fine, thank you.